let me ask you something. Are you ready to dominate at the plate this season? Blast Baseball is the #1 hitting improvement solution, trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 and you will save $25 at checkout. Unlock your potential with Blast. All right, everybody, it is 9 o'clock. Let's get right into it. We do this show every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitter Spaces. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Hey, we're going to have a great show tonight. We have got a 24 uncommitted. He's out of Texas. It's Drew Maxfield. Hey, Drew, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to tonight. Hey, why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe tell us where you go to high school, travel team you play with, GPA, and even how'd you get started in baseball?
Well, I'm 17 years old. I graduate the year of 2024. I have a 3.7 GPA. I go to school at Acellus Academy. I play for the FISA Riders for high school. I play for the Cooperstown Cobras for travel. And I got into baseball, ever since I remember. It's been through the family. Everyone's played sports, and I fell in love with baseball ever since I could play it. It's been through T-ball, coach pitch, kid pitch, and I've fell in love with it ever since I could. My whole life revolves around baseball. I play it every day, whether that's working out, training, hitting off the tee, doing whatever I can to get better.
Well, it's a great game to be in love with, no doubt about that. Man, it sounds like you've been playing a long time. So, Acellus Academy, what city is that in?
It is not. It's actually a private online school.
Hey, is it similar to just being almost like homeschool?
Yeah, pretty much. So I can do it whenever I want. And what I like to do, I like to get it done whenever I can. I like to get it done as quick as I can and as much as I can so I can get more work done for baseball.
Yeah, for sure. So virtual school, how long you been doing that?
About a year and a half. I got out of public school in the middle of sophomore year, and we heard about Acellus, and we heard it was pretty nice, so we tried it out, and I've loved it ever since. It's been very helpful.
Man, that's really interesting. Hey, did you do that kind of because of baseball, giving you an opportunity to maybe train and practice a little bit more?
Yeah, I've tried it out a little bit, and it's helped a lot too. Very good.
Gotcha. But you play for a local high school team.
Yes, I do. I play for the FISA Riders. I joined them just last year, and they have also been very good. The last high school team I played for was okay and wasn't really a huge fan, so we tried the baseball team that is leaked to Acellus, and they're great.
Okay, and that's the Thesa Riders. Am I saying that correctly, or is it Thesa?
Thesa.
Thesa Riders. So what city is Thesa Riders?
They're in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. All right, so right there in Dallas. Fantastic, man. Great area. Huge area.
Oh yeah, we go all over the place. And last year, this season was kind of a wreck. We had coaches going in and out, and we were planning to go to Florida actually, and we couldn't do it because of all the coaches going in and out. But yeah, it was still a super fun year.
Well, that's a shame. I hope that it all comes together for you next year, your senior season.
That's the plan. I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, Drew, what position do you play, and what are some of your strengths, and maybe a couple things that you're working on?
I play shortstop, third and second. I'm a main shortstop, and my strengths are I hit the fastball very well. I hit middle in very well, but my main strength is hitting fastballs and fielding. I I believe everyone has weaknesses, and my main weakness is hitting the outside pitch. I hit that pitch sometimes, but that's the pitch I struggle to hit.
Okay. Hey, give me some measurements. Like, what's your height and weight?
My height is about 5'10", 5'11", and I weigh currently about 170, 180.
Okay. And I love it, like one of your strengths being fielding. So, I mean, just naturally good hands, or have you just spent a lot of time taking grounders?
I believe it's a little bit of both. I've tried working more on fielding, just trying to get quicker with the hands and building up my arm. And yeah, I believe I just have kind of naturally quick hands and good hands, and that's why I went too short and kind of rotate between second and third.
Love it. Got it. Absolutely. Hey, let me ask you, are you ready to dominate at the plate? Blast Baseball is the number one hitting improvement solution, trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. Unlock your potential with Blast. Hey guys, tonight we're talking with Drew Maxfield. He is a 24 uncommitted. He's out of Texas. Hey, let me ask you something. You've been in love with the game your whole life. You've been playing it for a long time, playing it at a high level. What keeps you motivated, and how are you pushing yourself to get better?
Well, I stay motivated because I want to get to the next level, which would be college. And I want to keep aiming for that goal, which is just trying to get better every day, whether that's working out in the gym, trying to get stronger, trying to get faster, or that's trying to get better at fielding or trying to get hitting, trying to hit that outside pitch, trying to go for my weaknesses. So I want to go to that next level, and that's what keeps me motivated.
Absolutely. You have to have a love of the game because I got to tell you, man, the only way that you can spend that much time practicing, living it, doing everything that you can, you got to love it, right? And I can understand why that would keep you motivated because for a lot of people, it's really difficult to practice and to train because it's such incremental improvements that you see. And oftentimes you don't even really see those improvements yourself, kind of get frustrated and you'd much rather just play the game than practice. But it sounds like you absolutely love practicing.
Absolutely. I feel like you have to practice. I feel like you need to practice on your own, not just with the team or what's mandatory. I feel like in order to get to the next level, you have to do stuff on your own to get to that next level, to get to that college level.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you there, Drew. I mean, you have to be able to work on your own. Very, very mature comment right there. Hey, all the time that you've been playing, tell me about a couple of, or maybe one particular memorable moment or achievement that you've had on the field. And really, what is it that you learned from that?
I would say one moment would be last season. Well, this isn't really one moment, but last season I had a 10-game extra base hit hitting streak where it was just gap to gap hitting the ball to the wall every time. My bat was on fire, and that's probably the best bat I've ever had. Or one moment would be my first home run, and that's what showed me that I had the home run power to get the ball, to get the hard ball, to get it over the fence.
Hey, did you say that you had a 10-game streak of extra base hits?
Yes.
Man, that's impressive. That was this season or last year?
This was last season, last high school
So as
season.
a sophomore,
Junior.
as a junior. Okay,
This was like a few months ago, like just as my high school
I
season
got
ended.
you. Oh man, that is exciting. That's fantastic. So your junior year, first home run as well.
Oh no, that first home run is a little while ago.
Okay,
Uh, I'd give it like 7 years ago. I was super small, but it finally showed me that I had the power to get the long ball.
okay, gotcha. Are you a middle of the order bat in your with your high school team?
I'm middle to high order between the 2 and 5. That's normally where I bet. Right now, I'm kind of bouncing between the 2 and 4.
Gotcha. And let me ask you something about that travel team, the Cooperstown Cobras. Are Are you guys, do you primarily play in Texas, or are you traveling around a little bit more in the central area?
We travel quite a bit. We just got back from Oklahoma, and we are about to travel to Houston next, I believe, and then it's TCU.
Okay.
So we travel quite a bit.
Hey, that'll be cool to go to TCU. They're obviously having a nice little run here in the College World Series. That'll be an exciting time.
Yeah, that's a very exciting one. That one's also a wood bat tournament, so that's one I haven't participated in quite a bit. This will be like my second or third ever.
Okay. All right. That'll be a good experience. Hey, let me ask you, one of the first things that you said when you were introducing yourself was virtual school, going online, 3.7 GPA. It's a great GPA. You are also, you mentioned that you are spending really a lot of time playing baseball, training baseball, practicing baseball, working out on your own, lifting weights. Drew, how do you balance those two? How do you spend so much physical activity as well as mental activity and kind of keeping both sides doing as well as you're doing?
So I believe that school needs to come first. Even though baseball is almost as important, I believe school needs to come first. So I get that done first in my day before baseball, before working out. So I get school done first as much as I can, and then I'll do my baseball work, whether that's working out, arm care, baseball, hitting, whatever that is. So I believe school is the most important thing whenever it comes to baseball, to college.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I tell you, that's a great strategy for many different reasons. I mean, one, it's going to be so difficult to ever concentrate on the field if you're worrying about the work that you didn't put into the classroom. You don't want that. You don't want any distractions when you're out there on the field. So I love the attitude of let me just go ahead and get it done, get it knocked out, be prepared, and then when I step on the field, that's the thing I can focus on. And one thing, the second piece that kind of goes along with that for me, Drew, it doesn't matter how talented you are as a baseball player, your career is going to come to an end. It may end sometime in college, it may end sometime at a professional level. It doesn't matter how good you are, it will end. And so taking care of the academic piece, that's really absolutely without question the important piece. That's the piece that's going to carry you much, much farther in life. So that's a great attitude, very, very mature attitude.
Absolutely. I believe that school needs to come first because sometimes has happened before that if you don't get the schoolwork done, you won't do it at all that day. So I believe that you got to get that done.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for everyone who's joining. Certainly appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for your support. Again, we do this live, but we record it. So if you did jump in late, we will have the entire show recorded and we'll tweet it out later and you can hear it in its entirety. Tonight we're talking with 24 Uncommitted, Drew Maxfield. He's out of Texas. And one of the things that I was thinking about here that I'd love to know from you, how do you prepare mentally for a game? And as I'm kind of thinking about your schoolwork, whether you're doing it online or a couple of years ago you were in the classroom, how do you just step out onto the field and maybe kind of click that switch and say, I'm ready to start playing? Do you go through any kind of rituals or do you have like a pregame routine? I'm just kind of curious as to how you handle that piece.
Well, before every game, I like to hit a bucket of balls off the tee before every game before I leave, like 30 minutes. Work on that outside pitch, putting the ball right center gap so I don't get spinny in the hips. And just a matter of staying relaxed, staying loose so I don't get stiff at the plate. And also, I wear a compression shirt, whether it's 100 degrees out or 20 degrees. I've just always played better with it.
That's interesting. So is that a long sleeve, short sleeve, no sleeves, or does it matter? It just needs to be some type of compression shirt up against your body, your chest, your torso.
It's a long sleeve, but I roll the sleeves up a little bit.
All right. Hey, when did that start?
Oh, it started this season actually. And I just started wearing it because it was a little cold out and I had a good day that day. and I kept wearing it, and I've just been playing better ever since.
I love it. I have a feeling that was probably the game that started the 10-game streak of extra base hits.
It might have actually been.
I wouldn't have taken that shirt off, man.
It's not. It's definitely not the greatest. Whenever it's one of those days when it's 100, but
All right.
I feel like I have to.
All right. Well, that's cool. I love that. Hey, have there been any particular players or coaches that have really been influential in your development as a player?
My hitting coach, Coach Ron Sullivan. I have been going to him for the past, I believe, 6 years, but it was on and off. I would go to him. I was in a slump. I went to him once. He kicked me out of it. I went to him once again about 2 years later, kicked me out of it. And I got in another slump about a year ago. He kicked me out of it, but then I kept going to him consistently. And he has made me a completely different hitter. He is actually a certified master instructor through Mike Epstein Hitting, and I believe there's only 3 of those in the United States. And he has made me a completely different hitter mentally and physically. So he has changed my hitting game completely. You can actually find him at Lone Star. So,
okay,
huge thanks.
Yeah, that's cool. What is Ron's last name? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Sullivan, Ron Sullivan.
All right. Hey, man, it sounds like he's an awesome guy, and he's at Lone Star.
Yes.
Got it. Hey, a couple things there. He's changed you as a hitter completely, right? And kind of physically and mentally. Talk to us about the physical piece. What is it that he really kind of pushed you and hit the right buttons to be able to make you or help you change your swing physically?
So before, whenever I started going to him consistently, I kind of had a very basic batting stance. My hands were kind of just in a very simple part. And what we did was we put him in a better spot. We started pointing the knob towards the catcher, and we got a wider base. I had a very narrow base, wasn't in a great athletic position to start. And we got in that. We unlocked that part to where I could hit all those hits that I couldn't get beforehand because I just wasn't in the athletic position. And I just couldn't get to it because I wasn't in the spot. And he also unlocked the spot where it was finding the right center gap. I was under the ball almost every time. He taught me a drill, which was just nailing the ball in the ground for about 2 weeks straight. And that was finding me gaps.
Man, that's interesting. Hey, I give you a lot of credit to be able to listen to what it is that Coach Ron is teaching you and then to be able to apply it as well. There's not a lot of guys that can do that. Sometimes you can hear the words that Coach is saying, but you don't really understand, the physical piece to be able to do that. And then, obviously you have really done a very nice job of interpreting what he said because you can just repeat it back. Very, very impressive. So, tell me about the mental piece, because I got to tell you, I mean, baseball is certainly a mental game. And you think about somebody being successful when they're failing 7 out of 10 times at the plate. So it can definitely get into your head, especially if you have a weak at bat, maybe your first at bat doesn't go well. It's incredible how that will just kind of, multiply itself out through the rest of the game where you're just not hitting that well. So talk to us, how has he helped you mentally?
So before the mental piece, I would just go up to bat kind of blind, and I would just go up there thinking nothing, just kind of get the job done, get a hit, get a knock, do whatever. He would kind of teach me, think ahead, think what could the pitcher do. Not sort of guessing, but kind of predicting. Not predicting, but just think ahead. So, like, if it's a 2-0 count, better chance he throws a fastball. That got me thinking, if I guess right or just sit it, then that's big. And he also got me on a mindset of sitting the fastball, the pitch I hit the best, and reacting to that off speed, to that curve or changeup. And whenever I see that pitch, now I know it comes. If he throws it again, then I know what it looks like, and I take it the opposite way.
Very nice. I tell you, it sounds like Coach Sullivan, Ron Sullivan's absolutely doing a great job, and it sounds like you're a great pupil as well. So appreciate you kind of walking through that. Hey, again, everybody that's joining us this evening, thank you so much. We do appreciate your support. As I mentioned, we record it. And one of the reasons that we record this space is we turn it into a podcast. The podcast is the Now D1 Speak show. It's on every major platform out there. I would certainly appreciate it if you enjoy this type of content. Go find it and subscribe to it. And a 5-star rating would really be very, very cool. Hey, tonight we're speaking with Drew Maxfield. Drew is a 24 uncommitted. He's out of the state of Texas, and he's about to tell us what some of his short-term goals are. So as I'm kind of thinking about you playing with Cooperstown, the Cooperstown Cobras over the summer, tell us maybe a couple of goals or one specific goal that you're trying to achieve this summer specifically. And then give us an idea of some longer term goals. Where do you see yourself maybe over the next 2 to 5 years?
For short term, I would like to bat over a 400 and very few strikeouts for the season. I have always kind of had a struggle with strikeouts. This season, I'm doing a great job of that. I believe 20 plate appearances with only 1 strikeout. I've always had a struggle with that. This season, I want to bat for great average, very few strikeouts. For long term, I obviously want to go to that college level, which is getting better every day.
Absolutely, man. I hear you. I love that thing about the strikeouts. I mean, because I know you're also a little bit of a power hitter, right? I mean, you've got some gap-to-gap power, obviously a 10-game streak with the multiple or extra base hits. You've hit some balls out. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Kind of a change of direction almost. I mean, I'm assuming you're not trying to be a contact hitter. Are you just being more selective at the plate?
I've always kind of had, this is something Ron also kind of pointed out, my head tends to fly out whenever I get in a hitter's count, a sort of a 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. And that's what causes me to get missing with the balls, kind of under it. So I'll shorten up a little bit and maybe swing just 90% and just try to hit it in the gap. If the guy's throwing hard, that'll be enough to put it to the wall.
Awesome, man. Doing a great job, Drew. No doubt about it. Hey, if you're an uncommitted high school prospect, even a 23 that's already graduated, with 23, 24, 25, junior college, you would be interested in this type of environment, please reach out to me. I'm on Twitter at now_D1. I will tell you we're booked through June, and we have booked quite a few days in July, but there are some days that are still available. I know we could work something out. Plan to kind of continue to do this series. I'm sure we'll run it through August, and we'll go right into the fall season. So please reach out to me. So, hey, you want to get to the next level, Drew. Hey, that's a great goal. Understand why you would want to do that. But to get to the next level, you really need to be recruited. So could you kind of talk to us a little bit about your recruiting process, where you are, and then also kind of give us a sense of maybe an ideal environment for you? And what I mean by that is, are you if you don't have to name a name of a school, but if you just had the perfect place that you would want to be, would it be a large state school or a smaller private school or maybe a school out of state?
Well, I'm open to pretty much any school. I want to make a difference. I want to go to a school to where I play. I want to make a difference, whether that's a 4-year or a JUCO. And I've talked to a few colleges and I've been to a few camps. But I want to go to a college with good academics. But mainly, I just want to make a difference there. I want to play. I don't want to go to a college and sit for 2 years. I want to play. I want to make a difference there.
Drew, that's a fantastic answer. That's something I always kind of think about. The goal of playing college ball is playing college ball. And I think that's a fantastic goal. And I tell you, there's such good baseball at every level, too. There's so many opportunities out there. You really need to kind of leave that door open. It sounds like that's what you're doing. Have you had any recruiting feedback at all yet? Or are you just kind of starting to get, involved in recruiting?
I've got some recruiting feedback. I've had it for a little bit with a few schools. a few schools in North Carolina and Virginia, and trying to get a few down in Texas. But yeah, I've had a few.
Hey, it's an exciting time of your life, man. It's kind of like right here, right now, right in front of you. I'm sure that you and your parents are kind of trying to figure out maybe some ideal situations, and I would assume that you're probably kind of reaching out to a few coaches too and making sure that you're on their radar. So congratulations, man. You're definitely working it, doing a great job, Drew. Hey, let's kind of wrap up tonight a little bit with maybe a question thinking about younger guys. You're someone who's been playing for a long, long time. I mean, the love of the game right off the bat. You've just kind of been immersed in baseball your entire life. If you had the opportunity to talk to somebody that was just as eager about baseball as you, but maybe 4 or 5 years younger, what kind of advice would you give them?
Always work hard. Don't take anything for granted. Try to work as much as you can on your own, and maybe think about the competition in front of you. What's in front of you, and try to top that. Whether that's a teammate or anything else, just try to beat that. Always work hard and try to work on your own. Try to outwork your competition, and take any advice from anyone. You never know how much it will help you.
Man, I got to say, I think that's some great advice. Kind of sounds like probably the way that you've been living your life and working in baseball here for the last several years, and now you're just kind of paying it back. That's great advice, Drew. Man, I got to tell you, I really enjoyed tonight getting to know you and a little bit about where you came from and how you're approaching the game mentally, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and really kind of what your aspirations are going forward. I've enjoyed tonight. I hope you have.
I have too. This was a great time. Thank you again for this.
Oh, absolutely, man. It was my pleasure. Hey, I will tell you that tomorrow night we've got Nick McKenna coming on. Nick is a 25. He's uncommitted. He's out of the state of Ohio. Hey, Drew, again, thank you so much for being here. And man, I just wish you the best success. And I hope that everything that you're really working toward comes to fruition for you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. This was a great time.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We're going to end it here. Good night.